Alright, so this has been going for kind of a while, and I'm going to try to finish it, hopefully in this video, if not in the next. So let's just get started. I'm going to come here, and then our normal, I'm going to add a bump. Let's see, what is this? Okay, I want to add it before and create a new image on 4K. This is a bump map, so it needs to be 32-bit, and just call it, I don't know, rear sight norms, doesn't really matter. Copy it and just plug it in there. Set the height to like 0.01, and let's paint on this. Before we do that though, we need to import some new brushes. So going to documents, asset library, height brushes, brush, and now I'm just gonna grab these three since I don't know which one I actually wanted append. Now, okay, that is quite the coincidence that I already had a texture called rear sight norms. So let's just rename it. So rear sight normals, blah, whatever. Okay, make sure we're on the right image, and we want to set that to 50% gray. And it's also linear. Let's go to texture paint, and then we'll type N for normal, and you can see these. So I want this one. We'll go to side view. Let's bring that out so it's not in the way. Texture paint. I'm gonna change this stroke to space since I don't want to rotate it. Probably like that big. Alright, Alright, it's not. Alright, so we were painting on the wrong image. Just discard that. And now let's make sure we're painting on the right image. Alright, and this needs to go on the proper material, which I think is this. Let's just see how that looks. I think I'm going to take the one without the plus and minus because they're too far apart, so we'll just discard. And let's just do this one. So it's like that big. Okay, and change this to space. Let's do 0.01. And let's make sure to save this. Needs to be an EXR since it's bumped. Float full. Make sure to save. Alright. Let's make sure this is looking right. And let's change the image here, so we'll make it unique. I'm going to change that to, I think it was Grunge 01. Actually, let's undo that. Let's duplicate it. Or we'll just grab this one, take a look at it. I don't know why I can't preview. Whatever, we'll just that in there. And I just want to turn down the effect, so let's see what that looks like. Okay. Alright, let's check out our render. I'm gonna say that looks fine. Let's do the same thing up here though. Change to Grunge 01. And actually want to see, what if we did this instead? Just grabbed another overlay and overlaid this image. See the result of that. That looks pretty bad, so I'm just gonna plug that into the bottom there, and something is obviously wrong. Alright, let me just go to the other material over here. Try to figure out what's going on. Oh, so we got the wrong image. So it needs to be front sites. Front site AO. Let that load. There we go. Now, if we preview this, that looks good. And let's just turn this off. I think the bump might be a little extreme. Yeah, I think it looks better with just the bump turned off. And we should probably paint on here. So let's just look at this. It seems to be an empty image, so let's just change it to white. Go to texture paint. Make sure we're on the right image. Change the text draw. These are our floaters that cause this, so let's just set our brush really thin, or soft, I mean. And just kind of tone it down. If we want, we can kind of paint back. So we can paint it in here. See how that looks. Okay, let's save that. Let's do AO on the Picatinny material. Actually, let's do this one right here. We've been, well, I've been neglecting that. So let's just duplicate it so we can actually undo that, make sure we're in vertex select, and then, or just grab all that with Control Plus and separate it. Alright, now I want to bring in a procedural noise I made like a year ago, I think. Anyway, blends. Okay, so now I want to append here, material, just grab everything. Let it load in. I don't know what it's doing, but it was frozen real quick. Let's just add. Alright, let's look for procedurals. And I want to put an object, but first do a mapping. Rotate, come on. Rotate 90 degrees. And this is, that looks good. So let's change this back to the, we'll copy these. Come on, grab, copy, then put on the bolt material and just paste. Alright, and let's go to the, let's make sure spec is in spec. Alright, and let's do a mix, RGB. Let's preview that. Let's see, so we had 0.15 before. We set this to overlay. And now preview. I want to make that a little sharper even. And let's open up our reference, pure ref. Load recent, MP7. And I definitely want it to be not this glossy. So we should probably change it to add. Because if we look, this is what we want to create. So it's probably like 0.5. Maybe 0.4. 0.3. Let's just add that. Change this to overlay. Maybe multiply. Now I want to change the scale. Just preview that. And now I'm gonna go to, let's see, Blender Artist. Alright, so I pulled up the thread and I just want to steal this metal effect. So you can see it's just grunge 1, effects, scratches 5, and then smudges. Starting with these values. So let's make this a little more subtle. Same thing with this. And lower the base value. Alright, now let's search for fat grunge 1. Is that not in here? I think they're from the material effects. So grunge 1, scratches 5, and then smudges. So that would be this one. And let's just copy the values. 0.258, 0.133, 0, and then 0.654, 0.154, 0.043, alright, 0.175, and points. Okay. Now just plug those in like that. Copy these. And we're going to change this back to the bolt. Alright, and now I want that to go in there, that going in there, this to go in here. Okay. Now base color to base color, roughness to roughness, normal to normal. Alright. Let's see, which one? Let's make this noise like even more directional, something like that. Turn that up. And let's bump it too. Might as well bump. Plug that into the height. Set that to like 0.001. Let's turn on screen space reflections. And with the scratches, I'll bring up the smears. Or let's preview it. Alright, and I'm just gonna call that done since it's like a secondary material and it doesn't really matter. Let's go here. Alright, and delete that now. Save. Alright, and I want to make this. Okay, first I want to give it a new slot, and then I want it to be the same bolt material. Actually, let's try it. Picatinny. Yeah, I think Picatinny's good. Alright, let's see, what is there to do? Alright, so directional metal, got rid of that. Side adjust stamp, we did that. Foregrip darker rubber, darker material in stock. Let's do that right now. So we'll want to grab this right here and create a new material. Just assign that. And now I want to be the receiver, I guess, but just make it unique. Now we can turn the color down. Same with the spec. Let's see. Put the spec to like 0.1 maybe, and decrease the roughness. Let's decrease the spec one more. Increase the roughness by this much. Alright, and let's assign that to this and this. And I think it's the same thing with actually, that's fine. It gives it just a little more visual interest. Let's go back to our look dev and try out some different HDRs. Alright, I'm gonna call that done. Scratch on selectors. Oh, that's this right here. Alright, so yeah, that's a detail It's not on this picture, but let's see if I can find it. I don't know. This guy put it on his. It's pretty common to put on your selectors. I think I had a real reference of it somewhere. So on one of these. Either way, it doesn't matter. So let's just make that not full screen. And so I'm gonna pull out the pen tablet for this one. I've got a really old one. It's like the Wacom bamboo. I don't even know what. CTH 460. This has just been, I've just had it forever. So I like working in mouse mode. I just had it for pen mode because of Krita. So yeah, mouse mode is the way I prefer to work in Blender. And let's set up the material to paint on those scratches. Right, but before I do that, I'm gonna go to the bolt, turn down the albedo strength. Okay, so something is causing or maybe it's the roughness strength. It's these big splotches. Yeah, so let's just make that more subtle. Alright, and I want to make let me see the reference. Here's MW3. This tutorial is long enough, so no accessories. Come on, where's the picture? Alright, either way. Whatever, we'll just paint it on artistically. So go to the receiver. Alright, what is this? You know, okay, now that I'm thinking about it, final notes, I guess. We probably should have, you know, called this like layer names, so this is the AO dirt, you know, and then you can turn up the label size. You know, AO dirt. Or maybe you have to do it here. Yeah. So you could have named your layers, that would have been easier, but whatever. Let's add it before the dirt. So stretch that out. I'm gonna create a new image texture. New selector scratches. And I'm gonna make it white so we can paint. And, well, actually, I'll make it. Yeah, I'll make it white so we can paint in black. And we're gonna affect the bump, so let's do 32-bit float. And now we'll just look at this guy's art for reference. So we're gonna paint with black, so for bump we don't have to invert it. Set the strength like really low, or not the strength, the distance. Roughness, we want to make it more rough, so let's add a mix RGB. We'll just invert before, then we'll add it. So because we're going to be paint black, we're inverting, then we're adding to the roughness. Spec, just leave the same. Color, we might want to make it a little bit brighter, so alright, now let's paint on this image. saving kind of is taking a while now, probably because we've got so much in our scene. What is that, 8 gigabytes? I don't know. Alright, let's go to texture paint. Oh wow, it is really going slow. Alright, and then I want to switch to this brush that I made. And let's just test it out. Okay, we need to be in paint mode. We should probably make sure we're painting with black. Alright. And if we set our Alright, so the size is working. And I might want to put on strength to be influenced by the brush too. We set it really low. Alright, so actually I'm gonna not put the strength on the brush. Or maybe I will. Let's just view. Okay, now let's try to paint. Yeah, so let's set this. Alright, we're painting on the wrong image. I hit Ctrl Z too many times. Just discard it. So now we want to make sure we're painting on this image. Same thing with this. Alright, so now, okay, I am going to turn on strength dynamics. And I've got lazy mouse too, so just trying to get a nice curve. Set the brush really small. Alright, let's actually want to separate this, and I think that'll make it so we can paint through it. Same thing with this. Separate. Alright, now let's go to texture paint. And let's turn up the lazy mouse. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna put back on. Come on. Alright, that was a good one, I think. Alright then, and I want them all to follow the same kind of curve. So let's rotate this and kind of see where it would go. So we'll duplicate it and rotate like there. Now we should have a kind of a guide on where we want to start and end. So start right there, end right there. There we go. That looks much better. Start right there, and end right there. And then we could try doing some scratches like this. Make sure we're painting with black though. This should just add some interest. And this is 4K, but it's just there's not a lot of resolution in this area, and that's normal. Yeah, just keep adding. Might want to turn down the strength. I'm gonna do this brush. Make sure we're on black. Wanna just get the whole thing too. Alright, there we got that. Let's preview the material. Probably didn't need to add that much space, but it's whatever. Alright, let's turn down the... Dang it. Let's turn down the... my computer's really struggling. Turn down this to like 0.05. And let's turn this up to point. Alright, so I think that generally looks alright. But let's view this. Set it to maybe color dodge. Soft light, I don't know, just kind of seeing if there's anything. You just screen it. Or we can just set it back to add. Alright, now let's go back to texture paint and I kind of want to delete some, so let's paint in white. Where even is this? Is it working? It's hard to tell. Let's save the image. Why is this not painting? Oh, I think I... Is it this? Oh, because we're in the wrong object. Whoops. Alright, let's go back to our grunge brushes. I want to grab that one. Is he even doing anything? Just make sure. Okay, so it is working. Set this to grunge like this. Make sure it's painted white. Strength up. Alright, so it did do something. Just want to kind of break it up. Let's try this one. Alright, now that looks good. It's a little subtle. So let's increase it like that. And if we wanted to, we could even subtract it. Just make sure to clamp. I'm just trying this out, and then do the same thing to the specular. And that would make it really dark. But, I mean, we obviously still want some specular, but not a lot. See what that did. I'm just gonna go back to what we had. And let's do the same thing on the other side. So let's save this image. And save your project. Alright, let's do the same thing on the other side. So I'll set this edge to the active element. You rotate it. I think it might rotate to like there. I don't really know. Let's go back to our scratch brush. Turn it down. Alright, it's working. I'm trying to get them even. Alright, now let's go. Okay, I'm done with the pen. Let's add some scratches like these. something like some up here, some down. Okay, don't want them to be too big because I still want it to generally look curved. So they need to be in the direction of these curved ones. Let's add some more in the middle. Oh, not like that. Alright, and right now it's obviously way too much. So what we can do is... Alright, now we want to just delete that. And we'll texture paint in here. We might want to add some more. Like in here. Okay, but let's just go to this one. Alright, now we'll go to the grunge. Something like this. Alright, and let's change to like this one. Just kind of want to hit it until it's a lot more broken up. Alright, let's save this image. That way if we don't like what we do from now on, we can revert. This one's kind of big, so it'll erase a lot. Alright, I think that looks good. Just want to get rid of that one right there, so we can do that with our texture draw brush. I'm going to just paint white. Alright, and save this image. Alright, foregrip darker rubber, mag dirt, AO. Alright, so I wanted to give the Picatinny material AO dirt, and then finally just do some fingerprints with the fingerprint brushes. I don't know if y'all saw those, but yeah, they're these ones. Got 12 of them. So it's really starting to come together. We've got some tiling right here that's noticeable. So let's go to the Picatinny material, because we still have to add our dirt AO anyway. Let's just see what image that is. I think it's, yeah, it's this one. So we'll set that to like, let's just view our material real quick. I'll make it bigger. So right now it's 2.3. Let's do 1. So at 2.3, you could notice some definite tiling, and at 1, can't really see anything. Let's try 1.5. I think 1.5 would be good too. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with 1.5. Save. Let's add that dirt AO. Okay, so we'll go to our receiver, and we should be able to just 100% copy this because it's using the same like texture sheets. So copy, go to Picatinny, and paste. Alright, let's just preview this to make sure it looks good. Alright, that looks good to me. And alright, let's just add it into our layer stack. I want this to be the last thing in the layer stack because, you know, dirt goes on top. So put that here. Let's create a there, and just make sure spec goes to spec, roughness goes to roughness, normal goes to normal, color goes to color, spec to spec, rough to rough, normal to normal. Alright, now let's preview each of these channels. So here's the before, right? There's the after. Here's the before on spec. Here's the after. Because the dirt should be less specular. There's before on roughness. There's the after. Normal, so it shouldn't affect anything. Let's preview this material. We can decide if we want to tone it down or not. Alright, we should probably tone it down. Because it's a bit extreme. And for the most part, things should be subtle. So, easy way to do that. Easy. Just add a mix RGB. Alright, let's preview this first. Right? Alright, we can actually just ignore this. So we'll do it after the invert. Right? Now let's preview that. We want to set it to multiply. And multiply it with black. And now, if we go to our material, we just have a slider we can control. Okay, just let it compile. Control how intense it is. So, let's see. 1 will be off, 0 will be on all the way. And make sure to clamp it too. Probably be off for the most part. We could do this with a color ramp so we can get some more control. Oops, what the heck did I just do? Control Z. So we can do a color ramp. Let's preview that. Because I don't want it to be on the top at all, so we'll just do something like this. Now if we multiply it, it's off, it's on. I want to do this with our material though so we can see. Alright, let it compile. That's off. And then it's on. It's on. Alright, I think that's good. Alright, what else is there to do? We need to do the same thing on the magazine. Alright. looks like we're missing this. This is a mirrored piece, so let's grab that and mirror it. Okay, so now it's mirrored on both sides. Yeah, let's make sure the mag has its AO dirt. Alright, saving. And actually, I want to increase that just a little bit. So, and let's also wait. Let's try. Okay, for some reason, like the preview thing is being really, I don't know. You're supposed to be able to preview node groups. We were doing it earlier in what's it called, with Node Wrangler. So I just want to see how this texture's looking, and I want to grab, let's see, grunge, PNG. No, I want something that's high contrast. Grunge. I'm gonna go to my like grunge folder. I think that's in here. Let's try Scratches 1. Or Grunge 9. Or actually, what's this? Oh, that's not really high contrast. See if Grunge 9 is just in our project. Grunge 9. Alright, so I'm going to change this to Grunge 9. That's our preview node now. I want that color ramp. Turn up the blacks just a bit. And tile this just a bit more. Something like that. And now let's mix RGB. And just set this to overlay. Let's see what other textures we got. Might want to try Scratches 1. Yeah, let's do Scratches 1. So Scratches 1. Just duplicate this. So right now, basically, I'm just trying to break up the AO pattern. So Scratches 1 PNG. Right? Alright, let's do the same thing with overlay. Alright, but before we do that, let's make sure this is unique so it doesn't affect anything else. Alright. Let's turn that on. I want to preview this texture first though. I'll delete these. Now preview this. Let's try. See what the result is like. So this is before. Wait. This is before, and this is after. Just added some more grunge in there. Let's try. Okay, we weren't even using the color ramp. So really it's the white that is taking away. So let's just contrast it like that. And turn this to okay, something like that. Now if we view our material, okay, I think that looks better. Definitely an improvement. Let's save. Alright, let's do the mag. How long has this been going for? 45 minutes. So let's try to finish this off in this episode. So let's see. I want to preview this AO texture. Oh, we haven't done the bullet. Alright, the bullet should be really easy. Alright, so there's not really a ton of information in here. But let's just... Okay, we'll go to this Picatinny material. Let's see, what's on this layer? What the heck? Okay, whatever. Go to the Picatinny material, and we want to copy the setup. Now go to this, paste, and before we do anything, let's make this unique and any node group inside unique, because we're going to replace the input textures. Alright, that looks good to me. So let's make sure we're grabbing mag AO. Alright, let's preview it. Do our last. Alright, something is wrong right there because you can see the UV map. So what's going in here? AO dirt mask I think is the problem. Turn that off. Wait. Yeah, so if we go back to here, you can see that's causing bugs, so just remove it. And that looks good to me. You know, satisfactory. Let's just delete this. That was from when we were copying over the material. And this is the active material group. So just bring that over in the X. So we have some space. Alright, let's add this. So that's our AO dirt. Color to color. Spec to spec. Rough to rough. Normal through normal. And we'll just do the same thing here. No. Yep. And yep. Now if we preview our material. You can see it should just work, and we want to keep it pretty much all the way on, maybe just like a little bit off. Alright, that looks good to me. Let's look at our reference. Alright, that's a different type of mag than the one we made. We made this one, and it's definitely darker, so let's go to the material. I'll set this value to something like really, really low. Oops, undo that. Want it to still have that greenish tint. Set the value low. See how much. And the spec is really what's going to control how dark it is. You can see. Let's just keep it how it is. Okay, that looks good. Okay, so let's do the same thing with the metal part of the magazine. Alright, so go to, okay, we want to copy this, Control C, go to slot 1, or the upper mag slot, slot 2 really, paste, where did it go? Alright, and let's preview our AO. Okay, so that looks good enough to me. This is whatever, you know. You are rarely ever going to see that. If we wanted to, we could paint it out, but let's just insert it into our node network. So I'm going to cut like that and place this. So we can do color to color, spec to spec, rough to rough, normal through normal. Now just pump them into the shader. Alright, let's separate these. Okay, that's spec. That's alright. Spec to spec, rough to rough, normal through normal. Preview the shader. Alright, and yeah, that magazine dirt, you know, it looks good here. Might want to tone it down, but I also want to paint that away because it's pretty extreme. So saving, let's set up our nodes for painting. I'm gonna do a multiply, so it's gonna subtract from the thing. Create an image texture. We'll call this mag AO dirt paint away. The names really don't matter. Doesn't need to be 32-bit. Plug that into here. Alright, and let's find it. It's white. Okay, that's good. We'll go to texture paint. Just let it load. Alright, and we want to just have that masked for now. And I'm going to use the grunge brushes to delete it so it has some texture. Probably this one because it's actually We'll just go to texture draw. Turn the strength down. What's up? Not really, because I'm almost done with this project. I just got a couple more steps left. Oh, I want to keep the cup. Well, it's not full, but whatever. Can you close the door? All the way? Alright. Okay, I was painting on the wrong image, but whatever, should be able to paint it away now. And yeah, just paint through there. Let's preview this. I'm gonna turn the strength up to 1 and just kind of hit it through, and then I'll show you what we'll do after to kind of bring some of it back. Alright, and let's hit the soften brush. Just soften those edges. Alright, yeah. Soften these up. Alright. And let's just preview it in the color channel. Then we'll go to our paint tool. And let's just add it in the corners. And yeah, just kind of put it in the corners where it should be. And just, you can also erase by changing the color. Alright, let's add this one. Alright, so it is rotated at kind of a weird angle. Alright, so we have to drag out like that to make it horizontal. Yeah, just get it in the corners, because that's where the AO should be accumulated. And now let's hit it with some more, actually. Alright, let's try. I'm gonna try. Let's try this. See how that works. Okay, that doesn't really work too well. So we can try this one. Or actually, let's try this one too. Now let's preview the shader. Looks good. Looks good. Alright. Save this image. Alright. And let's turn up the intensity. Alright, let all the shaders load, and we can get rid of that. Now, final touch, fingerprints. Alright, let's do this. Okay, so we'll just add them to the receiver, like, so I can't really show it with my hands, but I'll try to show it with my mouse. So the fingers would grip around and kind of touch here, probably on the trigger. Well, I mean, definitely on the trigger, but, and then probably one on like the selector switch is good. What else? All right, let's make sure. Actually, we want to paint these separately because they're going to be. We don't want a texture to like drag it out and then have the fingerprint like stretch across, so it'll be, you know, touching here and here in the same fingerprint. So we'll paint them separately, and then definitely on the foregrip. So he's going to be gripping that with his left hand, so we want to paint him on this side where the fingers wrap around. Alright, so now that we have a plan, I guess let's execute it. So we'll go to our receiver. Let's check out this different HDRI. Let's see. Okay, I like this one. You know, it's good. I might want to turn the spec up just a bit on that so it's not that much darker. But let's do the fingerprints first. Alright, so we want to set up a new layer. We'll set it above. We'll set it above the dirt. And we'll actually name this one, because whatever, it's the end of the video, might as well end the video with like good habits. I've actually learned a lot while making this. I know I'm like making a tutorial or whatever, but a lot of the techniques are, you know, not entirely new to me, but it's the first time kind of executed them. Really, the M18 project was like a lot of new techniques, but I think this has really solidified it. Alright, let's add it. So mix shader, or mix RGB, my bad. Mix RGB. We want to, I don't think we want to affect the color at all, so we'll just leave it. I think really the only channel we want these fingerprints to affect is the roughness. Alright, so we'll subtract them, or actually let's multiply them. So I want a white texture and paint black fingerprints. That would just be easier to see. We'll create an image texture, call it fingerprints on receiver. Hit OK. Just change that to linear. And let's start painting them. Alright, so we want to go to this image, texture paint, and let's grab our fingerprint brush. Let's try this one. Actually, this one looks interesting. Alright, we want to make it black. And something I learned from another course, I forget his name, I can pull it up, but is to make the fingerprint like roughly, so let's, is there a way to lock the radius? I guess it's only in sculpting, but to make the fingerprint kind of as large as the trigger. So if we rotate this, is there a way to rotate? Yeah, set that to 90 degrees. We want it to kind of be able to, it'll probably be that big on the trigger. Alright, so I want to change, this is anchored. So let's draw a fingerprint like right. Alright, let's change it to, instead of anchored, just space. Alright, and let's change the angle to like 90, negative 90, I guess. What the heck? Negative 90. Alright, whatever, 270. When a blender wants to be hard. Alright, and let's rotate it a little bit to the left. So a little bit past 270. I want to hit it like that. Alright, let's change it up. So we'll change the brush. Oh, we might as well just change the texture. So we'll change it to like this one. Do the same thing. Alright, and then this one looks small, so we'll do something like that. And now on this side, alright, that looks about the right size. I want to rotate this 90 degrees. Add a fingerprint there. Let's do a different one, like right there. Let's do this one right here. And this one right there. Alright. Is what? Is it glued? Not on. Oh, this is mirrored UVs. Whatever, that's fine. Well, actually, now I'm kind of debating having them on there at all, because if these are like prominent, anyone that's paying attention is gonna see that makes no sense. So let's just go to texture draw, and we'll just paint with white. We'll erase these, and let's see, the thumb. Right, if I'm gripping it right, the thumb probably wouldn't hit it, because I'll just put one on there. So let's go back to our fingerprint brush. And it's about the right size. Alright, make it black. Come on. Oh, it's anchored. Change it to space. Alright, and let's just go to texture draw, change the hardness, kind of hit the edge off of this. Same thing with this right here. Just kind of want to hit the edges. And the thumb should come up here, so let's go back to one of these fingerprint brushes. Make it black. Let's just... thumb would probably be up here. Alright. Wow. My tooth kind of hurts for some reason, but... Alright, whatever. Just gonna keep going. And let's preview the shader. And that's definitely too intense. So let's go to this multiply. Alright, and let's turn it down till it's kind of subtle. Subtlety will do a lot for you in texturing. Yeah, okay, there we go. We might want to turn it up just a bit. So that's all the way on. like to view the map, make sure we're clamped. Alright, now let's preview that. Alright. This back piece, let's where is it? I'm not going to do a fingerprint on the selector switch. I think that would be kind of overkill. Where is it? We need some reference. Reference is will always help you. So right now I think the distinction between these two is too extreme. So let's go to the slot, and I think the spec is what. Alright, so if we go to, this is 0.3, the value is 0.05, and if we go to this one, value is 0, and spec is 0.2, 0.3, let's try 0.25, I'm going to try 0.2 again. 0.2 I think is, let's try a different lighting. And let's duplicate everything and rotate. Okay, let's set to medium point, and let's just delete that. Alright, what just happened? Undo. I think we got rid of that, so just undo. Alright, so delete these. Let's grab our MP7 and let's rotate it just so it's kind of at a similar angle. And I can definitely see on the Picatinny this is too intense with this lighting now. So I'm going to go to Picatinny. It's the last layer. Alright, I think that's fine. Alright, let's save. Alright. And this is to a point where I think I'm happy with it. Is there anything else to do? Let's delete this. I think we can call it good for texturing. This is a pretty good result, if I do say so myself. I'm pretty happy with it. You know, if we just set the HDRI like this, we got lots of good roughness values in there. If we duplicate it, bring it up, see R, RY, 180, RZ. Alright. I think we just need to duplicate it. RX 180, RY 90. We'll just rotate it like that. I think I think that's a result we can be happy with, and when we render with cycles, it'll look even better. Alright, so I'll see you in the next one. The next one will be, I'll briefly go over rendering. I'm not going to actually like talk through the process of rendering, because, you know, I just set up the scene, set up some lights, hit render. You can watch other videos for that, but I will talk about baking this down to 8-bit images and what to do if you've got different texture sets and you want to bake them to one. So right now you've got this as 2 different 4K textures, and you know, if this were like a game or something you were making this for, that wouldn't work. So I'll show you how to combine this into one 4K texture, and then you can scale it down to 2K or 1K, and we'll bake everything down to just their 8-bit final images. Alright, so see you in the next one.